Hey there, fellow theme park fans, it's Maria. I'm here at Universal Orlando City Walk because I want to check out the brand new Universal Studios store that has just recently opened. So without further ado, I'm going to take a little walk into City Walk at the lay of the land. I'll meet you in the new store. Walking into Universal, beautiful day out today. And although the theme parks have some pretty hefty seeming wait times inside, City Walk is very, very accessible right now. Not a lot of people walking around. Everywhere that I've walked so far, there hasn't really been a line. So midday City Walk, kind of around lunchtime, seems to be the time to check it out if you're in the market to do some shopping and some dining. I had to stop to show you guys this. Although it's not open yet, there's already tons of merchandise and a full display dedicated to the Velocicoaster mugs, t-shirts, toys. I can't wait to ride this thing, opening June 10th. So immediately when you walk into City Walk, there's where I just came from. Right here on the right, you can see the little sign sticking out there. And right here, we're headed into the brand new Universal Studios store that has just recently opened. It's brand new. This is where you come for all of the merchandise. Oh, it's a very cool design. I definitely want to get in and show you all of the different stuff that they have to offer. So let's get started. First thing I notice upon walking in is an expansion of that Velocicoaster merch that I showed you in the windows. They've got a really cool pop vinyl that is going to probably be coming home with me today. I love this little T-Rex. Also have some Velocicoaster. There's a close-up on the mugs. What could go wrong? I love that. Really cool mug. You've got a refillable tumbler that's got the Velocicoaster merchandise branded, and there's tons of just Jurassic World merchandise, backpacks, all that kind of stuff, as well as some traditional and classic regular Jurassic Park stuff here as well. Immediately when you walk in the entrance, right here on the right, we already start the plush. You just saw tons of ETs. We've got Despicable Me, pets, really adorable little like Avengers stuff over here, small Woody Woodpeckers, Shrek as well. So some smaller like cutesy looking plushes. I love that Thanos, that's really cute. And here we move on to the Simpsons. So basically this is a one-stop shop if you're coming out of the parks or going in, but I recommend when you're coming out. If you want to grab any merchandise, I say wait until you get here. Don't try to get it in the actual parks and lug it around. Well, there is something to be said for, you know, grabbing a T-Rex at Jurassic Park, grabbing a SpongeBob plush in the SpongeBob store pants in Universal. There's also something to be said for not having to worry about shoving it all in a locker to go on all of the different attractions. They have everything here. Pretty much everything from any of the attractions you would have seen inside the parks, they've got it represented here, all the way down to just general Universal soup mugs, coffee mugs, even the theme park fan sprayers. If you are in Islands and you have a Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat, Thing 1, Thing 2 fan, all of those items are for sale here as well. Let's keep looking through. The more I move through, I'm seeing socks. I'm seeing an entire wall dedicated to key change over there, which I'm not going to go through every single one of those. I'm seeing an entire Simpsons section now coming up, and it really is just kind of reaffirming what I said earlier. They really do have something from all of the different sections of the theme parks in here. So if you're wanting to grab a merchandise item, wait until you get here. They even have the traditional classic retro Universal stuff here, which I love. This is from Confrontation. Look at that. That's so cool. From the original ride there. Even some old school style hats. Really cool. I love this shirt. See the Stars Ride the Movies, one of the original like 90s style Universal stuff here. So if you're someone who loves that traditional classic Universal, Jaws, E.T., back around that era, even as dating far back to King Kong, they've got that merchandise right here for you. Really, really neat. This store is really cool. They've got the big Universal ball, and up in the ceiling here, they've got a projection mapped little circular thing that you can stand underneath and see all the different emblems. You got Toothsome Emporium going by there, the Universal Arches, Men in Black, Volcano Bay. Just kind of shows all of the differences that Universal Orlando has to offer, to kind of show that this store really does fully encompass everything. Getting into some sweet sections here. So if you're coming from, you know, perhaps Universal Studios and that big candy store that's in there, and again, you don't want to have to worry about your chocolate bar melting, they've got a lot of that branded merchandise too. So Donkey from Shrek, Syrup and Waffles cotton candy, Hello Kitty chocolate pretzel bars, even more of those surrounding here. They've got Kung Fu Panda, Despicable Me, more Shrek stuff down there, and even more branded E.T., Back to the Future, How to Train Your Dragon candies that would definitely melt if you tried to carry them around. This whole final room, very big, very cool ceiling design in here, very high ceilings. The store feels very open, which I really like about it, very spacious, especially in the times we're living in. I feel like I'm not crammed in. The ceilings are very high, there's good airflow. This last room, if you haven't figured it out already, is the Harry Potter room. So again, pretty much everything from the Wizarding World in both parks you can find here, from pillows to plushes to the Hogwarts branded items that you can see coming up here, platform 9 3/4 ornaments, throw blankets. They've got a lot of household items. They especially have a lot of apparel, backpacks and shirts you can see over here. Lots of mugs, lots more jackets to represent your Hogwarts house. I've never seen these jackets before. These are really nice. They're kind of side zip jackets. They're super cool. That's a Gryffindor. Hufflepuff, kind of an athletic, cooler material. So if you're someone who usually likes to wear the robes or represent your Hogwarts house, but you find yourself here in the middle of July, this is a really cool alternative, almost looking like what you'd wear like maybe to practice Quidditch or something like that. If you're someone who likes to represent your house, they have these new style shirts here that might keep you a little bit cooler than those robes. We've got an entire Quidditch section here, all the way down to the Bludgers keeper shirts from all the houses, and hats and bags as well. And if you are a true diehard must wear your house robe, don't worry, they've got Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff robes, scarves, hats, socks, pillows, ties, backpacks. That's all I can say in one breath. But yes, they have everything to go with all of the houses here, as well as this really cool Marauders map stuff design that I really personally like. I solemnly swear I'm up to no good tank top, the backpack, the cups that goes along with it, and even down to babies. So if you've got a little one that wants to rep Hogwarts too, they've got that here as well. Can you purchase a wand here? You absolutely can. And they have really, really neat displays here. You can kind of spin them and see the different character wands. So right here we got Arthur and Molly Weasley's are together. And this is a really neat way to be able to see the wand that you want instead of having to go through all the boxes, open them up, mess up the nice displays that they've got going on here. You can view all of the character wands here. There's a lovely team member here who would help you out to pick the wand that you ultimately decide to get. So if you don't feel like carrying it around the parks with you, shoving it into the lockers, potentially damaging the box, wait until you're on your way out. Check the new Universal Studios store. They've got all the boxes. And in my opinion, they're displayed really, really nicely, and just as nicely as they are in any of the stores in the Wizarding World section. So this is a really cool and unique experience to be able to grab your wand from here. And I think it's pretty awesome. Hopping in the merchandise line. Told you I wasn't gonna leave without it. From the second I saw it when I walked in, I knew I wasn't going to. But I also want to note that you do get Universal Pass Holder merchandise discount, of course, on all the merchandise in this store. So if you are a pass holder, take comfort in knowing your discount will be honored. So like I said before, I'm in the new Universal Studios store. The old store, though, is still here. It's when you walk in City Walk, I took that right. This is right on the left. So I'm gonna head over there. They've turned that into the Universal Studios Legacy store. So legacy to me means homage to the bygone days. So let's see if I'm right. Let's take a little walk over there and I'll catch up with you when I get there. Made it to the Universal Legacy store, and the first thing that my theme park nerd fan noticed is that these gargoyles that sit on either side of the entrance and exit, I'm pretty sure are the ones that used to sit on either side of the Universal Studios entrance to the actual theme park. when it opened back in the day. They've since redone that entrance, but I'm pretty sure these are the original gargoyles that used to flank either side of the entrance there. And they are really cool, and you can see them really, really up close to see that amazing detail in them. So far, I'm liking the Legacy idea, Universal. It's pretty cool. If you've watched any of my videos or been a fan for any amount of time, you'll know that I love these make your own wax things that Universal has. I did the Frankenstein one at Halloween. I did the snowman one at Christmas, which was hysterical the way mine came out. So definitely go back and watch my Universal at Christmas video if you haven't already. And this one is a make your own Jaws. They're only $6, which I think is really cool. And a wax figure is literally made before your eyes, comes out to you there. Really, really neat. So aside from the Jaws, the gargoyles, I'm noticing that this is still a retail location. You can still purchase things in here, and they do still have some stuff that I wouldn't quite consider to be Legacy, like the Velocicoaster shirts and stuff like that. But the more I look around, I'm noticing, okay, they have, here we go. There's a picture of those gargoyles I was just talking about, the old original entrance. That's really cool. They have the original park shots from when it first opened, and they have just some creation behind the parks, images and stuff all around. So it's Legacy in that there's a lot of old homages being paid through here, although it is still a merchandise store where you can still purchase some items. Let's keep looking around. An Amity police jacket. If you know, you know. From Jaws. Super awesome. They've got that costume piece here. And they also have just film general props, actual little small film reel machines where you can put old style film in and watch it. They've got some lights over here, some original people of the parks who conceptualized and ultimately helped to open them. Ghostbusters, love that. We've got some lights over here and some film reels. So if you're looking for the Legacy stuff, so far I'd say to look up. That's where I'm finding it. Original Islands of Adventure. Look, they were building Toon Lagoon. Really neat. I love that. That's so cool. Little concept workings. Yeah. Hagrid's motorbike is in here, which is really, really cool. This was made for the opening of Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. And it is his bike. There it is. That's what you're supposed to ride on when you're on the attraction. And the little sidecar that Harry famously rode in the movies and books. Here for you to see. It's full size and it's really neat. It's in this big display case kind of in the middle of the store, and if you keep walking right behind it, this is my favorite thing I've spotted so far in here today. It is the Hagrid's and original Hogwarts Castle layout. I'm sorry, not Hagrid's, the Hippogriff Flight layout. It's the original layout from when the park was being conceptualized, this section of the park. And they have the little 3/4 scale renderings. They've got the little Flight of the Hippogriff roller coaster here. So you can see Hagrid's original hut. So this is back from when the original Hogsmeade section was conceptualized. This is one of the models that they actually used to help render it out for themselves to see. It's really neat. Earthquake, if you remember that ride, that was the vehicle that you used to ride on. It looked just like that when you were on the attraction. And here's a prop actually used in Jaws, which is really cool. And they've got some original radios and TVs from like the 50s, 60s era up here too. A costume sketch. I'm nerding out in this store if you couldn't already tell. I think this is really cool. A costume sketch from Camp Jurassic, which is where the Pteranodon Flyers are. It's a climbing area for kids in the Jurassic Park section, and they actually have an original costume rendering of that there, as well as a small concept art of what it will look like. If anyone knows a small child who wants to ride the Pteranodon Flyers, they can absolutely ride it with me. I'm not able to go on it because I'm an adult, and every time I see it flying overhead, I get sad. So if anyone wants to volunteer their kid for a day, I'll take them on Pteranodon Flyers. Thank you for joining me on this very informative journey. So I learned the difference between the Universal Studios store and the now Universal's Legacy store. The Legacy store is really neat. Although you shouldn't discount it as a merchandise stop, for me, it was kind of just to go in there and reminisce about the Universal Studios, Universal Orlando Resort of old times. So a lot of really cool props in there, a lot of really cool stuff from the parks themselves too, which I really liked. And the Universal Studios store itself, the new one, what a pleasant place to shop. Really open, really big, really expansive, really spacious, with pretty much everything you're gonna find inside the actual parks without having to carry it around all day. So I highly recommend checking out both of them when you visit, because they're both very unique, very cool experiences that I don't think you should miss. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the parks.